Hey everyone, this is Sean with RB Bass, Kayak Tournament Angler. I want to go over some stuff to get you ready for this upcoming kayak tournament season. First of all, let's just start with the kayak. First thing is go through your kayak, check those steering cables, make sure there's no frays or anything. The worst thing you want on the water is have your steering go out. Also check any loose screws, things like that, such as on my seat. There's little screws and stuff there that need tightened sometimes. Get those all tightened up. On your pedal drives, it doesn't matter what kind of pedal drive you're running, there's always some kind of maintenance that needs to be done. Follow all the maintenance to the manufacturer's specifications. On my Hobie Mirage drive, the 180 here, there's little nuts in here on the pedals that sometimes needs to get tightened. And a couple other minor little things. Make sure these cables don't get frayed. I had my friend Brandon had to replace one of his cables because something happened to it. It got frayed. Ended up breaking on him. So definitely check all this prior to your tournament. Next one I want to touch on is I carry tools in my kayak now, just for little problems on the water have ran into, or some of my fishing partners have ran into. I keep a little ratchet screwdriver, little socket bit set, super inexpensive, helps tighten the pedals and other things in your kayak. Next one is just keeping a screwdriver with multiple different bits on there. That's another super helpful thing to have while you're on the water. Next thing is what I have learned, because I fell in the water last year. It was really cold, and all I had to change into was rain gear. So, with that being said, I carry a dry bag now in my kayak. This is a change of clothes, dry socks, of course. For some reason, your feet always get wet. Maybe you want to throw some shoes in here as well. But a dry bag is something you definitely want to consider. Another one sounds kind of strange, but check the integrity of your life jacket. Check your straps. Make sure you have a U.S. Coast Guard approved life jacket. Just check the overall overall integrity of your life jacket. If you have those life jackets, those little instant ones, got the CO2 cartridge, check those, because those cartridges do go bad and they can't expire, so definitely check those out. Next one sounds super easy, but dude, check your net. You probably fished with the same net for a year, a few years. Dude, check your net. Check the integrity of it. Make sure it's all intact. Make sure you don't have that hole in there that that fish is going to come out the bottom of it. I heard of a guy last year that had a hole in his net and he lost a good fish. It probably cost him some money. So definitely check the integrity of your net. Next one is a 360 light. You could buy some through, I believe, Yak Attack or someone else. I made this one. This flag I actually found on the side of the road. I got a broken rod. I'm sure everybody has a broken rod. I zip tied it to there. This light I got from Amazon. I think this whole thing cost me $5-6 maybe. Most importantly, make sure the battery works. Everybody has a light similar to this. Check the battery. Sounds super simple, carry a spare battery on you. Some tournaments you're required to have some kind of 360 light. Don't be stuck being the last person to take off because you did not check your light. Next one, another super simple one. I always do in the wintertime. I always grease and lube up all my fishing reels. But besides that, check the integrity of your fishing rod. Check your guides. Those little porcelain inserts, those Fuji guides there, check the inside part. Make sure there's no cracks or anything in there, or the inside part missing. That's going to fray your line. You don't want that in the middle of a tournament. And that's usually from getting banged around and stuff. But protect your investment. get a rod glove. Super cheap for the expensive rods that you're using. Get yourself a rod glove to protect that investment. Next one for your tournaments. Kayak tournaments, we use a measuring device like this, called a hog trough or a catch board. Make sure you are using a approved measuring device for that tournament. And maintenance on these is super simple. When you buy these brand new, these lines here are just plain white. When you take a picture, it goes to the judge. These lines need to be black, need to be dark, easy for the judge to identify the length of your fish. Easy way to do that, get a Sharpie, use the side of the Sharpie, and go right over those lines with the side of the Sharpie to darken in those lines. That's going to make it easier for the judge to identify the length of your fish. And also up against the part where the mouth of the fish is going to go, darken this line in right here too, so they can easily identify the front of the fish, or put a sticker on there. That helps also. As for identifiers, every tournament circuit or tournament you're fishing is going to have a different identifier. Here's a couple examples of a couple different ones. You're going to have your name on the top, and usually they're going to give you a code. That code you're going to get usually the evening before the tournament. And since these are made out of paper, you need to protect them. If you don't have one of these fancy tourney tags like this, there's a quick, simple solution to that. This is what I did all of last year. Get yourself a pack of Frenzies, great baits to use. Take these out, and you got this plastic sleeve. All you're going to do, fill out that identifier, slide it in there, seal up the ends, maybe tape it if you want. Boom. You got it right there. Other than that, I think I pretty much touched on everything to get you ready for this upcoming tournament season. Also, sounds simple, charge your batteries, and also know your launch site, know your check-in times, know your last time to submit fish, and I pretty much touched on everything. So any other additional information you need to know about bass fishing, your best bass fishing resource is rbbassfishing.net. And I'll see you on the water. Thanks for watching.